Welcome to this explainer. If you've been in the trenches of modern software development lately, you are probably feeling a bit overwhelmed by the sheer chaos of trying to integrate AI into your daily workflow. It is so stressful when it feels like you're constantly fighting your tools instead of actually collaborating with them. But hey, take a deep breath. Today, we're going to explore a really peaceful, beautifully structured solution called the Be Mad method. I am so excited to show you exactly how it can bring calm, clarity, and control right back to your engineering process.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the agenda. We'll start by unpacking the vibe coding crisis, then we'll introduce the Be Mad method itself and introduce you to your new AI Agile team. After that, we'll walk through a real-world case study of adopting it in a software company, take a look at your new daily dev routine, and finally, talk about why you absolutely have to fix your organizational culture first.
Section 1. The Vibe Coding Crisis and the Problem with Unstructured AI.
Let's start by validating a frustration I know so many of us feel. You open up your AI tool, you type in a quick, conversational prompt, and boom, it writes code. And honestly, it feels like magic at first, right? This is what the industry is calling vibe coding. But the catch is, this practice is completely unstructured. Sure, it gives you this massive rush of initial velocity, but it ultimately fails at scale. Why? Because without a formal source of truth, your AI is essentially forced to just guess your intentions. And that inevitably leads to context drift, chaotic results, and those absolutely maddening regressions that keep you up at night.
So this brings us to a really stark contrast. On one side, we have the chaos of vibe coding and all its pitfalls, the context drift, the guesswork, the unscalable regressions. But on the other side, as a beautiful, calming alternative, we have the reliability of spec-driven development, or SDD. Spec-driven development provides a structured blueprint. It uses machine-readable specifications that are completely testable and perfectly aligned with your business goals. So instead of just throwing random prompts at an AI and crossing your fingers, you give it a living specification to follow. It completely replaces guesswork with a clear, reliable contract.
Section 2. Enter the Be Mad method, a breakthrough method of agile AI-driven development.
Now, Be Mad actually implements spec-driven development through this truly fascinating concept called agent as code. Rather than relying on one generic AI trying to do everything for you, Be Mad defines specialized personas as portable, reusable markdown files. These files explicitly state the agent's exact responsibilities, their constraints, and their expected outputs. And because they're versioned right there in your repository, you track them in version control just like your regular source code. It essentially takes static, boring documents and turns them into the literal active engine that drives your AI.
When you adopt this approach, you aren't just getting a simple coding assistant. Be Mad actually simulates a full agile team of over 12 specialized AI personas. It operates on this beautiful two-phase design, moving peacefully from agentic planning directly into context-engineered development. A major standout feature here is something called federated knowledge. This effortlessly synchronizes your organization's standards across all your repositories, so the AI always follows your specific best practices, no exceptions. It's also scale domain adaptive, which means it dynamically adjusts its planning depth based on just how complex your project is. Plus, getting started is a total breeze. Be Mad supports multiple IDEs, whether you're using Cursor, Windsurf, Rue, or Claude Code. As long as you have Node.js version 20 or higher, you can install the whole shebang automatically with a single npx bmad method install command. Section 3. Meet your AI Agile team. Specialized personas for specialized tasks.
Just imagine a flawless multi-agent ceremony with an exact sequential handoff. It is so organized. First, the analyst agent creates the project brief, which is gracefully passed to the product manager to produce the PRD. Next up, the architect agent designs the technical architecture. Then, the Scrum Master takes over to generate hyper-detailed stories. It's only then, at step 5, that the developer agent actually steps in to implement the code. Finally, the QA agent validates everything. This completely eliminates the guesswork, making absolutely sure the AI developer only writes code after the planning agents have established a perfect, hyper-detailed blueprint.
Section 4. Adopting Be Mad, a case study looking at the 2-day agentic development workshop.
Let's ground all this methodology by walking through exactly how a software company adopts Be Mad in the real world. We'll look at a standard 2-day agentic development workshop, which runs entirely against the company's very own repository. On the morning of day 1, the team simply installs Be Mad via NPX and configures their IDE integration. It's super fast. By the afternoon, the AI PM, architect, and UX designer agents are already hard at work, collaborating with the team to document the existing product specs. Then, on the morning of day 2, the team extends that brand new PRD with new work and plans out the sprint. By the afternoon of day 2, they are implementing real, brand new features using the dev agent. It is so incredibly empowering to see how a team can go from wrestling with undocumented legacy code to shipping fully contextualized new features in just 48 hours.
Section 5, the new daily dev routine, moving from syntax writer to architect.
So you might be wondering, how does this spec-centric culture actually transform your daily tasks as a human developer? Well, traditionally, your role meant manually typing out every single line of syntax, painfully debugging standard logic, and constantly fighting against AI context limits. It can be totally exhausting. But with BMAD, your role is completely elevated. You are no longer just a manual syntax writer. Instead, you step into the shoes of an architect and a validator. Your day is spent writing clear, formal specifications and thoughtfully reviewing the AI-generated code. You get to orchestrate the entire system and focus on the big picture, while the AI handles all that tedious, repetitive implementation. It really is a deeply creative and rewarding way to work.
Section 6. Fix the organization first. Why culture matters over toolchains.
Before we wrap up, I want to calmly remind everyone of a really important reality. While BMAD is remarkably powerful, it literally cannot magically fix broken communication within a company. The reality is, your specification is only ever going to be as good as the domain knowledge in the room. BMAD is an absolute force multiplier, especially for technical founders and solo developers who hold all that domain knowledge right in their heads. But for larger enterprise teams, it requires genuine access to your domain experts to build those specs properly. Basically, BMAD amplifies your existing organizational culture. So, you really need to make sure your team is actually communicating well. To wrap up, I want to leave you with this provocative question to ponder. Is your organization truly ready to transition from a code-centric culture to treating specifications as active code? Stepping away from the chaotic noise of vibe coding and into the calm, structured world of AI-native development is definitely a big shift, but it is so incredibly worth it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. Take this inspiration, look closely at your current workflows, and take that empowering first step toward a much better way to build.